Hello, welcome to another video in our series. This one is about morning registration. Now, I'm sure when you arrive at school, you take the register and your form teacher says hello, and then you start your lessons. In Ysgol Eirias, because we are quite a large school, we have a formal registration process, and that lasts for about 15 minutes. In the mornings, I would advise you to arrive at school at about 8:30. Catch up with your friends, meet them on the mugger, meet them on the yard, say hello, and then find out what you've been doing overnight, which is also pretty good. Then at 8:40, 20 to 9, the first bell will go for registration. And this basically says, guys, we need to move now and get to our lineups or get to our registration rooms and get ready for registration. The second bell goes at 8:45, 5 minutes after the first one. Now at 8:45, registration kicks in properly. Now at that point, you should be lined up outside E and S block, and your form teacher will come and collect you from your lineup and take you to your form room. When you get to your form room, they'll meet and greet you at the door, say good morning, Bodida, and then you will go and stand behind your chairs in your form room, get your planner out of your bag and put that on your desk. And then there'll be a formal introduction. Good morning to school this morning, etc. Then what will happen, guys, is the register will be taken. And now the school register is vitally important because we need to know that you're actually in school. Now that's not just a case of each morning your form teacher will call your name out formally and you will be required to answer I'm here, or what have you. And that is done in silence. And the reason why we do it in silence is so that we make sure that when we enter that you're present on the register, it's correct. So it has to be done properly. And the reason for that is that for those pupils who don't arrive or are absent, we send a text to parents at 9:30 saying, good morning, but your son or daughter hasn't registered this morning in school. Can you let us know if they're absent today? Now, if you can appreciate, parents who get those texts will most probably know the reason why their child isn't in school. So it's vitally important that we only send texts to those parents who know that their child is missing. So taking the register and registration, vitally important that it is correct. After the register is taken, your form teacher will make various announcements during the course of registration, what clubs are running, what needs to be done, etc. during the day. After the announcements, we have what we call thought for the day. Now this is also a requirement each day, and this is more of a case of having a think about certain topics, and it is fairly Christian in approach, ethical, moral standing, and it just gives you something to think about and reflect on before we start lessons at 9 o'clock. If we have time, we have then a morning activity. It's only a few minutes long in activities. Now Mondays is assembly day in the hall. Tuesdays you'll be checking your planner and you'll be doing some silent reading. Wednesdays we watch BBC News Round to catch up on the news affairs that are going on in the world and in the country. Thursdays we have a problem solving booklet and an exercise, and then Fridays it allows your form tutor to have a general conversation with you, catch up with the week, etc. So a very, very busy time registration, and it is important that you arrive in order to make sure you're there. If you miss registration for whatever reason, then that really doesn't set you up for the day. So registration in the morning, I advise you to get into school for 8:30. First bell 20 to 9, registration starts officially at 8:45, 15 minutes long, and by the time we get to 9 o'clock, we are all ready to get learning and get into lessons. So that's morning registration. Hope that works for you. See you soon.